quite hard to see, but I'm going to saddle bush clip. Quite the long length of cable, this. So it could do with trimming down, but I wouldn't suggest it. I'd leave it as standard. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. Just to keep that up and out the way of the drive shaft. I've got another cable tie to go in there, which is right at the end. So we're pretty much underneath the tank now. So we're right at the end of the joint now, which is great. Now all we need to do is fit this up. This is the additional loom that I've got in my hand. This is for the rear lights and fog lights and boot lights and tail lights and everything else lights. It is a bit of a dog's dinner, if I'm honest with you, what we've got here. But I'm sure we can deal with it accordingly. If I can get it laid out into some sort of order, it's going to make our lives a little bit easier. And much like the front harness, you're going to need to customise the rear harness so that it fits the car, because it's way too long, way too long. What I am taking out a pin, hopefully that's in the manual. There's a pin for the white and red wire, which is for the boot switch. Don't think we need to throw an internal light on that tells you that the boot has been opened. So we'll just get rid of that out of the plug. Something else gone. Right, okay, so this is our ball of wire. I would suggest, I think, what I'm going to do is remove all of this loom conduit, tape, call it what you want, and put it together again in the car, in the right place, so that everything tallies up. Because at the moment, it's way too big. It's way too long. But it's just a case of making your loom, pretty much like we did at the front there. All you've got to remember, the loom's the same. Now, because this is a left-hand drive car, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting the fog light and the reverse light on the same circuit. So I'm going to run both of them on the same sides. What I think I need to do is probably pull everything apart, plug it in and just make it all fit. I think that's probably going to be the easiest bit. Right, so the big thing to make a note of here is that green, white is right and green, black is left. Basically make my own loom like I did at the front. So what I'm doing is I am now sort of worming my way through the loom, which is the loom for the rear section of the car. And all I'm going to do is basically make my own loom, position the parts or parts of the loom where they need to go. I've got a few clips here. I'm actually probably going to change this to run up this leg here and then run along and then back down, because it's quite easy to put in some fixings underneath there. What I need to do is make sure that I've got fog light and reverse light on both sides. So that's something that's new purely into this loom. It's only this loom, the left-hand drive car basically, that's going to need that. For the right-hand side of the loom, this one is green-white. So there's the right-hand side. So this will be the start of my loom. It's going to go underneath the handbrake cable here. It's going to go underneath there, up, down and around, and come out on that side. Okay, that's fine. That's one part of the loom done. And I'm going to need to probably start cutting this bit about, because it's got itself into a bit of a muddle. I don't know why it's double looped back on itself, and then there's, oh well I do, because that is the answer there. It's basically the side, all the side lights are all multi-jointed together, so I could probably cut that multi-joint light out of there because it's not positioned on the right side. So there is only the one side light that I need. So side light is as we know from the front, red, black. So I might cut these and then I'll rejoin them again using the same kind of logic down here, but this is so long. I just don't need it to be this long, and that then frees me up. Green on its own is a brake light, so we know that that's a brake light. There's it's an extra brake light, and it's the lights for the number plate. I know that I can get rid of those, but what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to loop out of one and then loop into the other. So you know we did those those three-way, those other connectors. I'm probably going to do that, as I think that's the best way of doing it. Just to confirm, reverse light is the red yellow and the fog light is the pink blue. So I need 4 cables going either side, and then I need the reverse light, fog light, etc. Pink blue is my fog light. That's great. Let's whip that out of the plug. I'm going to just tidy this little lot up by cutting the multi-joints down here, because we don't need all of these. So I've got one green which is a brake light. So I've pulled out of there, should be the green wires, which is the brake light. Great. Down, stopping a multi-joint about there. I can then multi-joint that into the plug that I'm going to put on the bottom here. So the plug will be about here on both sides. Pink wire I need all the pink wire out of there. Oh gosh. So I've got a black, a green, white and a green. So earth, indicator right, brake light, and I'll run a red. This is my red black. I'll have that one, and we can multi-joint that, because the red black is what powers the number plate light. So I'll probably run the number plate light from this side into the number plate light. I don't need a number plate light, separate number plate lights. They're quite long, aren't they, those? So what I'm going to do is going to cut these, because I don't need them. That's the high level brake light. Don't need it. This is the tail light. Don't need it. Other tail light. Don't need it. Not tail light. Number plate lights. There's 2 on the Mazda by default. Don't need them. So we're only fitting 1 number plate light to the back of the car. So I only need 1 of these 2 leads. I need orange red out of here, right? Because that's got to go down to both. So as the pink wire and the orange red, according to my documentation, is the wire that's required for the reverse light and the fog light. And as I said before, I want to make sure that they're on both sides. So what I'm going to do is just grab out this orange red wire, just to make sure that it's also long enough to go on both sides. And as I say, I might run, I think I will, I'll run the whole lot around the top and back round again. Put in some connections. By the time I've finished, it'll be spot on. Just takes a little while to do, that's all. It's a bit of a long, laborious process, but we get there in the end. Right, I need to take out the red, yellow wire. So the reason why I'm doing this is, as I keep saying, I'm thinking ahead, basically. And I just want to make sure that I've got enough cable so that I can get down over there to the reverse light. So the reverse light's going to go there, and I need to make sure that I've got enough to get me, well, I have got enough to get there, but I haven't got enough to get down there. Which is a shame, but never mind. Purple, again, purple wire. I've got enough to get down the bottom here, but I haven't got enough to get on the other side. So I need to extend the purple wire, and I need to extend the red and yellow wire, which is the earth. I've got loads of earths here so that I can take them to where I need to get them to be. Green, white, right. Green on its own, dead. So I'm going to unplug green, white wire, get rid of that. Right, so green, white, right, that's going to come down here, that's fine. Got to put a multi-joint on the green on its own because they're brake lights and they're going to go both sides, that's fine. They can go in the bin if you don't need them. Whoops. Blacks are plenty, so we've got one there. We've got another 2, should be quite long. Yeah, good. I don't actually need all of these, and the reason is purely because I haven't got as many lights as what we had before. I can multi-joint that there. I'll multi-joint that one because that's for the fuel pump. Then I'll run that one round there. That's okay. I've got a couple of multi-joints joints to make in here. That's fine. That one's going to go that side. That's okay. That one's going to go that side. That's got a joint. That needs a joint. That one is the other side. So that's going to go round to the other side. I mean, what a dog's dinner that is. Let me unpin that. Green, black. Right, the rest of this can beat it. Don't need that. Shouldn't be connected at all. So the green, black wire goes round there. That's fine. Hopefully you're sort of understanding my logical approach to this. So those two are going to go down there. That's going to go that way in that particular piece of loom, which is grand. That's going to multi-joint there with something else, which is fine. I need to put another black, I think, or do I? Yes, I do. I need to run a number plate light. That's for that side. I need to find out what that black white wire is. What's the black white wire then? I did a bit of Googling last night. Well, actually, I read the manual. And this is a grey black wire. This was the one I said, oh, I don't know what that's for. It's the electric aerial. So I should have clocked that yesterday. But it's the electric aerial. So we're going to unpin that electric aerial. We don't need the electric aerial. I don't think this car's going to have an electric aerial. And we'll crack on today. I'm just going to unpin this black. It's a black grey wire. I did say black white yesterday, but it's black grey, according to my manual. Just pop that out. I can pop that out of the. Got to slide that big green bit out before you can pull the plug. Make sure that's right the way out, and you get to pull the plug on it. I can't remember which way is which. Oh, that's the inside. Oh, crikey! Right, so just going to get rid of this grey black wire because we don't need that in our loom, so we might as well ditch that. You can probably get rid of that from the front, but it just means that you've got to pick out a whole bunch of cables and you just don't need it. So there we go. Oh bother, just drop me pen. Pen? It's not a pen. Always handy. Little watchmaker screwdriver. Always a handy little thing to have when you're doing something like this. So I'm going to just slide that back together again. Reposition my loom. It's going to go in there. Going to go up there. Join that with that. That's my brake lights on this side. I've got brake lights. I've got brake lights on the other side. I've got green. That's green black. So I need to make a brake light for the other side. Right, that's what we're going to do then. Let's get the old iron on. Get the soldering iron on. We'll cut some multi-joints in and we'll start making some sort of additional feeds round. Got to make sure that the pink wire goes to both sides and the reverse wire, which is the red yellow, goes to both sides as well. There's a reason for that because we're left-hand drive. First off, I'm going to join a green wire for the side lights into this green wire here. This is the brake light feed. So I'm going to join that. I'm going to do all my joints pretty much down here. So I've got one additional black that I've got to run for the tail light, which is going to be run off of the side light lead. I'll run that down here and I'll run the additional black around. So that's fine. Pink I've got to do both sides. That's fine. I'll do the joint there. And the additional one that I've got to do, brake light, green. Let's extend that I'm going to cut it and do what I've been doing all along. Strip this back, strip the other one back. What the standard Mazda Loom does, it does all these multi-joints. So it does exactly what I'm doing now, but on a what I've been calling or terming multi-joint, which is just a connection where you've got multiple joints together in the same place. So I could run a third brake light if you wanted to. Doesn't matter, it's not a problem. One thing, every time I solder, I get it in the face. Every single time. Didn't want to do that. We can crack on. Slide that over the top. Burn it on. So I've now got a green in the loom, see? So the loom's going to run up there and come back down again. That's fine. So my loom's going to split there. That's great. This is going to be cut down a bit. I need to join the black, and I'll join another black in for the tail light. I've got another black cable, and I want to make sure that that hits the tail light around here. So just want to make sure that I got enough to be able to get in there, and I think I have. So I'm quite happy with that. So that's fine. I can join this black and these two blacks together in this area up the top here. I'm trying to stagger my joints as well. Can you see that? Let's just turn that around. I want to try and stagger my joints here. See if I can get it from another angle so you can actually see what we're doing. Different angles. So I'm going to stagger the joints. I've got one joint here. I want to stagger the other one up the top here. This has got a loop back on itself anyway. Or I could actually... No, look, let's do that. That's tickety-boo. Right, let's do that. Let's cut them at a length. I'll join this black one together. That gives me enough earths as well now for the whole setup. So I've got earths for the tail lights, the number plate light, the fog light. Just slide a big bit of heat shrink over that. It's got to shrink up quite a bit. So right, that's in. That's fine. I can shrink that one together. Not sure how well this one's going to shrink, but it is only an earth, so alright, that's given me enough there. That's fine. So we're all fine up to there. Now I just need to do something with this. This is the reverse light. So because I'm making a mod, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some orange. I've got some orange cable here. I'm going to take some orange. The reason why I'm doing this is because this is a left-hand drive car. So when it comes to go, we're going to IVA this. And when it comes to go to, if it needs to go to abroad, or when it goes abroad, it'll be really easy to swap them over because you just need to change the plug socket and that's it. So it's an absolute doddle. It'll be a complete doddle to put to left-hand drive. So I'm only doing it now to make my life easier at a later date. And I'll do the same with the pink wire, which is the fog light. So I'm gonna drop this down a little bit lower than the others. In fact, I'm not. No, I decided against that. I shall do that up here. Let's do that here. So do exactly the same as what I've just done with the green wire, but this time this is red and orange. But I don't have a red and orange, so I'm going to do it with just plain orange. So we're currently building our loom to how we need it to be. We're getting there. No, we haven't. I've got the pink wire and I've got the black and... What's that wire? Black and red. Pink wire we know is for the reverse light. We've already established that. So I'm going to cut that. And as this is pink blue, and because I don't have a pink wire, a pink blue wire handy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a pink. So we're now done with the brake, with the reverse. With the reverse line, that's cool. Now that's mega long, that is, so that'll go right the way down. Oh, crikey, that's long. So I'll throw that over the other side of the car, so we don't need that in a minute. So that's that bit of the loom all done. See, it gets quite thick up there, up that top point. Right, now all I've got to do is a tail light. So I need to run a couple of tail light feeds. I need to run a tail light to the left. So I don't think I've got one there yet, which is fine. I need to run tail light to the right for the numplate light. God, brain's not working today. So I'm just going to do exactly the same as what I've been doing all the way along. Strip these. I could join all three at the same point, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to come here and I'll do another joint down here, and then I'll go into there and into the plug that runs around. It's a number plate light. It's not like it's going to be drawing 50 million watts, is it? Okay, so that one, the long one now, can go over to the other side of the car. I think we're done with all the intricate work on this side. So let's pop the camera back up the top. You can see where we're at. Right, hopefully you can see everything now. What I've done is I've now made my new loom, and what I'm going to do is just drop a bit of loom tape around it. Up the top here where it's going to split out, we'll put some split conduit in it. It's in split conduit. I've got enough cables running to the opposite side of the vehicle, which is perfect, which is exactly what I wanted. Bit of loom tape around this top corner. This is where it all starts to fan out. So this is all going to go into the loom, the split conduit, sorry. And I've got both parts of my loom running down. I think this is absolutely perfect for what we need. All I now need to do is work out the longer wires. Oh, I've got to just make one more change down here with this, what's this colour? Red black. It's a side light powered wire. So I'm just going to make the change here. This is the final one. This is for the number plate light. So I'm just going to split the number plate light into two, or split the side light into two to power the number plate light. So this is the final bit of adjusting, then it's all a case of putting together. This is the final step of the rear loom, other than putting it in conduit. There's my looms. I think we need to get some split conduit around that little lot to take it to where we need it to be. Let's do it. Right then, so I'm going to run a split conduit underneath that there. I'll probably run one piece up and round, and then the other bit I'll run teeing off there, but I'll loom tape the corner. I'm just going to put a bit of loom tape around the end of that split conduit. What did I do with the loom tape? One thing that annoys me with a split conduit is it splits when you're trying to push it over the wires. It sort of splits. It's obvious because that's kind of the name of it. Fiddly this bit around the handbrake cable. So this is just a two-way for the end. This is a two-way. Two-way female. clack. There we go. And she's in. Put the end in so they don't come out. That's it, done. There you go. So what have we got? We've got now the passenger side, driver side loom, driver side, passenger side, whatever side you want to call it. Loom done and dusted. Just going to put a bit of tape around that. I could turn the iron off. I don't need the iron now. We're just playing with, well, basically just playing with plugs. So I've got my light cluster's going to sit about here, and then that will go through, loop into that. I've got my, you can see this. This is going to be my reverse light and fog light. Then I got me for the number plate light. They're both going to sit on there. They'll both tie wrap around this particular point when they need to, and they're done. As I said before, and I've sort of made it quite clear, this three-way, this has got a reverse light or a fog light on this right-hand side. So that's quite useful for this particular setup. But that is a fully tamed driver's side loom, or UK driver's side loom. So we'll now do the other side. Right, so we're now working on the right-hand side of the car, or the driver's side of the car, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to run the fog light into there. Might be a bit, probably done that a little bit short, but it's not, the other one's about there, so it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to put that in a bit of braided, pinch that in just a little bit from the end, and it allows you to push it through. Top tip, Neil's top tips. Pinch it in slightly from the end, and that will allow you to push that over the top. It gives you a rather pleasant little braided finish. So this is a three-way that we're doing here. Fit in the rubber bungs on the end. Strip those three back. Again, twist the wires, and then fit three of the females. And then we're going to wire it as per the manual again. So I've got a black one, I've got a reverse, and I've got a fog light. Three-way. This is a three-way. Is it a three-way? I think it is. No, that's a four-way. What do I do with the three-ways? So I've got a three-way female plug as per the manual. Let's grab that. As per the manual, 1, 2, 3, up that way. You see that? So 1 is the reverse positive. So pin 1, that's the top left. That's the red yellow wire. Then you've got the fog light, pink blue, and then you've got the black, which is number 3. So as I keep saying, the idea behind this is so that we can drop it into the left-hand drive mode very, very easily. Right-hand drive, left-hand drive. Okay, so that's that one done. Didn't heat shrink that other side. So that's that side done. And all I've got now is these 4 wires that are left. So on the 4-way connector, I'm going to cut them to size. I'll cut them to length, whatever you want to call it. Cut them about there, because I think the plug can just go there. That's what I've got on the other side. So it's just above the, it's just above this plate. I want it inside the car. So I've got a black, a green black, which is the left indicator, and a red black, which is the side light. Just gonna give these a twist. Then I need a 4-way female, which is this one here. 4-way female. Go to my manual. 4-way female, pin 1. Pin 1 is an earth. So that's the top right hand one is the earth. That's it. Pin 2, side lights. Pin 3 is the stop light. That's the green on its own. And finally, last but not least, the indicator. Right, so there we go. That's it. Put the end in, a little stop end for the plug. Make sure that plug doesn't fall out. That's that one in there. Forgot to put that in there, didn't I? There we go. That is a tamed rear wiring loom. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So that's it on the rear loom. That's the rear loom done now.